Do we want the world to be full of warring tribes, of nations fighting each other in a global intergalactic war? I don't think many people would say yes to that, but that's a lot of what happens, on some level, because we still have this idea of this brave masculinity. And like one of the theories in gender studies, which you know, to me, when I first heard about it, was like a duh. But people are going like, yeah, wow, it really makes sense. It's called precarious manhood, and it's been heavily researched. And basic principles or the basic aspects of it are that boys who become men learn that they have to prove their masculinity, and that it's difficult to do and easy to lose, and it must be demonstrated in public. And so that's the precarious part because you could lose it at any time. So when you think about when men get in fights with each other, it's kind of like what you test you doubting my sense of manhood, and so like a lot of the male violence can really come out of this. I have to prove my strength, which keeps getting reinforced from early childhood onward. And so the identification with being strong and tough and on top of things and real masculine becomes highlighted in the culture as something that's desirable. And that which is desirable is shiny. And that which is shiny, we tend to move toward. And so the unshiny stuff, which is I think what you're talking about, the more vulnerable things we move away from because they feel threatening. And what we need to do is we need to change that dynamic from early childhood onward. And so these manosphere things like be tough, be strong, like that. It's so regressive, but it's very attractive to guys, because they don't have an alternative. And I think that's part of what I really want to emphasize. We need an alternative paradigm. That's why I use the term strength with heart. People around me
Mm,
are getting it. Like you can be strong and heartful, and that's where compassion comes in.
yeah, so this is touching on something I've been thinking about a little bit recently, Daniel, and I hope that this isn't a digression, but I've been bumping my head more recently into the problem with the word self and the phrase self-help. How we make all problems individual problems when the reality is that these are, hello, collective problems. It's right there in the name of the summit. And so I think the notion that, hey, each guy should just really focus on healing themselves in this way is, for starters, a bit of an unrealistic notion, and also is just not a very effective way to do this kind of work collectively. It sort of exists at the small scale, and you're speaking to how can we scale this up?